So this is a reminder to be a bit cautious about what you store in OneDrive. Here it says Microsoft gave FBI a set of BitLocker encryption keys to unlock suspects' laptops. So it's an article on TechCrunch, and we can read Microsoft provided the FBI with their recovery keys to unlock encrypted data on the hard drives of 3 laptops as part of a federal investigation. Many modern Windows computers rely on full disk encryption called BitLocker, which is enabled by default. This type of technology should prevent anyone except the device owner from accessing the data if the computer is locked or powered off. But by default, BitLocker recovery keys are uploaded to Microsoft's cloud, allowing the tech giant and by extension law enforcement to access them and use them to decrypt drives encrypted with BitLocker, as with the case reported by Forbes. The case involved several people suspected of fraud related to the pandemic and employment assistance program in Guam, a U.S. island in the Pacific. Local news outlet Pacific Daily News covered the case last year, reporting that a warrant had been served to Microsoft in relation to the suspect's hard drives. Candid News, another local Guam news outlet, also reported in October that the FBI requested a warrant 6 months after seizing the 3 laptops encrypted with BitLocker. And I think, and this actually like makes sense, that's just like how the laws are. If an American company, if they get a warrant, then they need to deliver that information. So since they have the BitLocker keys, then they are forced to comply and give the keys over to the FBI. So Microsoft doesn't have much of a choice in that. So I think it's more up to everybody to be a bit cautious of like where you put your keys. So if you don't want FBI to like be able to get the keys from Microsoft, then you shouldn't upload the keys to Microsoft to begin with. They should be kept on your device only. But I've read that one problem is that when you install Microsoft, then you're forced to have an online account, and then you also get OneDrive, and by default, like I said, you get BitLocker enabled by default. But I read that it seems like the keys are also uploaded by default, so it's a bit tricky, it seems like, to avoid getting your BitLocker key uploaded to Microsoft. So if you want to stay a bit more private, then maybe consider something else than BitLocker, because it doesn't seem that safe to use if you are cautious or care about your own privacy and security and don't want it to fall in somebody else's hands. You can continue to read here. A spokesperson for Microsoft did not immediately respond to a request for a comment by TechCrunch. Microsoft told Forbes that the company sometimes provides BitLocker recovery keys to authorities, having received an average of 20 such requests per year. Yeah, and like I said, they need to comply with that. So when they get a warrant, they just need to hand it over. Apart from the privacy risks of handing recovery keys to a company, Johns Hopkins professor and cryptography expert Matthew Green raised the potential scenario where malicious hackers compromise Microsoft's cloud infrastructure, something that has happened several times in recent years, and get access to these recovery keys. That sounds quite bad if that has happened. It's 2026 and these concerns have been known for years, Green wrote in a post on Blue Sky. Microsoft's inability to secure critical customer keys is starting to make it an outlier from the rest of the industry. Yeah, and again, I think if you care about your privacy, maybe use something else than Windows and BitLocker and OneDrive. With Windows, they're so pushing this online connectivity, so it's a bit difficult to avoid, and even if you like manage today maybe to get a local account, they are like doing their best to lock it down, so you're not able to have only a local account. With a following update, maybe it will be converted to an online account. That's like what happened to me. I started out with just a local account, but eventually it turned out into an online one. So I don't know, maybe I missed something, but yeah, they are really trying to push people into online and OneDrive and all that ecosystem. And here we have another article about the same thing. Microsoft confirms it will give the FBI your Windows PC data encryption key if asked. You can thank Windows 11 forced online accounts for that. Yeah, so that's the online accounts that are difficult to avoid. Windows 11 online Microsoft account requirement means your PC is automatically backing up its data encryption key to the cloud, and Microsoft says it will hand those over to the FBI if requested via legal order. Yeah, like I said, they cannot avoid that if they're being requested. And here we can read something interesting. This was possible because the device in question had its BitLocker encryption key saved to the cloud. By default, Windows 11 forces the use of a Microsoft account, and the OS will automatically tie your BitLocker encryption key to your online account so that users can easily recover their data in scenarios where they might get locked out. Yeah, so maybe for the average user, this is like a good feature. I think many people they lose their passwords and everything, and yeah, maybe that's a good like usability thing. But if you care about your privacy, then so you need to kind of weigh it. And what's more important for you? Is it privacy or is it usability? So yeah. You think you need to make the decision yourself. This can be disabled, letting you choose where to save them locally, but the default behavior is to store the key in Microsoft's cloud when setting up a PC with a Microsoft account. Yeah, I think that's quite bad that it's by default that it's backing it up to Microsoft's cloud. And we continue. While key recovery offers convenience, it also carries a risk of unwanted access, so Microsoft believes customers are in the best position to decide how to manage their keys. Microsoft spokesperson 𝗘𝗺𝗡𝗟 said in a statement to Forbes. I don't remember how it looked like during the installation or if I was asked that, but just the overall feeling with Microsoft is that they really push you to do everything online and the online connectivity and backing up online. And if you don't want that, it's more clicks and you need to do custom settings and it's more difficult to avoid. Microsoft told Forbes that it received around 20 requests for BitLocker encryption keys from the FBI a year, but the majority of requests are unable to be met because the encryption key was never uploaded to the company's cloud. Okay, but that's a good confirmation that there is no like backdoor to BitLocker that Microsoft are able to use. So when Microsoft are complying, it relies on the key having been uploaded to the company's cloud to begin with. So it doesn't seem like there is like a backdoor for Microsoft, so that's at least good. This is notable as other tech companies such as Apple have famously refused to provide law enforcement with access to encrypted data stored on their products. Apple has openly fought against the FBI in the past when it was asked to provide a backdoor into an iPhone. And I think this is a little bit different with implementing a backdoor, but it seems like Microsoft haven't done that either, since otherwise like FBI wouldn't need to ask Microsoft for the keys. But since FBI need to ask Microsoft for the keys, it seems like there is no backdoor in Windows either. And yeah, I think it makes sense for Apple to not have any backdoor as well. But like I said, if they have the data and they're being requested with a warrant, then they need to comply. So I guess with Apple that they simply don't upload the keys in any circumstances to iCloud. So there is no reason or nothing to ask for when asking Apple. They don't have anything to be able to decrypt their devices. Other tech giants such as Meta will store encryption keys in the cloud, but use zero-knowledge architectures and encrypt the keys server-side so that only the user can access them. It's frankly shocking that the encryption keys that do get uploaded to Microsoft aren't encrypted on the cloud side too. That would prevent Microsoft from seeing the keys. But it seems that as things currently stand, those keys are available in an unencrypted state, and it is a privacy nightmare for customers. I guess this is with usability. I don't know how Meta has solved it, but somehow, like if you lose your device, I think users usually like would want to be able to access their device again and be able to log in, and even if they forget their password and lose their device, I think people would want to be able to recover and get their old conversations and everything back. But maybe it's handled in a different way with Meta. Maybe it's saved on other people's devices somehow, or yeah, I don't know. But somehow if it's encrypted, they need to find the key somehow to be able to decrypt it. So to see Microsoft so willing to hand over the keys to encrypted Windows PCs is concerning, and should make everybody using a modern Windows computer think twice before backing up their keys to the cloud. You can see which PCs have their BitLocker keys stored on Microsoft servers on the Microsoft account website here, which will let you delete them if present. But even if you check and see that it's backed up, and then maybe you decide to not have it stored there, like I think you should, I don't know how it works, but like regenerate their key. Like if you have lost or given away your key to somebody, even if like you ask them to remove it, like you cannot really trust that key anymore, so you need to create a new one. So that's like the advice I would give. If your key has once been uploaded to Microsoft and their cloud, I wouldn't like trust them. Like maybe it's saved in some log file or recovery file or a trash bin or something. Even if it's like disappears from the UI, it might still be there, and you cannot trust that they don't have it anymore. So try to recreate it in that case if it has been uploaded. But that was everything for today. I hope you have a great day, and let's see each other another time. Bye bye.